We live in a world full of ice cream, Big Macs, Whoppers, and chocolate-covered everything, where maintaining a healthy lifestyle seems like a pretty unlikely option for most. Now, many people are aware that they may not have the best health, but they're not willing to live a life of lima beans and Brussels sprouts to change that. However, there are many food items that are just as delicious, but are not limited to your vegetables. The answer to this health struggle is vegetarianism. Now, the thought of going vegetarian usually scares most people. But for the sake of one's health, I can say from personal experience that taking the leap to go on a vegetarian diet is absolutely worth it. I can honestly say that becoming an educated vegetarian is one of the best decisions that I have made. I am presenting this information to you as not merely dieting advice, but as a way to live out the life in which God has asked us to live. It is also an opportunity to maintain many virtues. Some of these virtues include caution via what you intake, commitment to living a new lifestyle, a new confidence in your body that you may not have had before, and determination to live out a new lifestyle. My testimony to you regarding diet and the virtues it provides is not uncommon, and my goal for you is to be able to practice this vegetarianism for yourself. Vegetarianism is not just some hip new movement that is trending at the moment. It has actually been around for over 2,500 years. The first people of the earth, Adam and Eve, in the Garden of Eden, were actually vegetarian. The most famous vegetarian of the ancient times was Pythagoras, or more commonly known for the Pythagorean theorem. He taught that the vegetarian diet was best for the body and for the soul, for ethical and religious reasons. In 500 BC, vegetarianism hit its peak, but it was not called vegetarianism at the time, but was called Pythagoreanism. It was not until 1847 when the name Pythagoreanism changed to vegetarianism. Throughout many centuries and ages, vegetarianism spread rapidly throughout the world. A few of some of the many common vegetarian names that are maybe familiar to you are Plato, Ovid the poet, Seneca the philosopher, and Leonardo da Vinci. Many churches also took on vegetarianism as well, in order for their people to have a better health for their bodies and able to serve the Lord. For example, in 1809, William Cowherd founded the Bible Christian Church in Manchester, England. This church taught that a vegetarian diet keeps the body in very good shape, giving lots of energy, therefore is in the best way to serve the Lord. Other names of some religious groups, churches, and organizations are Ellis G. White, the founder of the Seventh-day Adventists, and John Wesley, the creator of the Methodist movement. Vegetarianism can provide a better health throughout one's life, superior to a diet that includes meat. The Bible states in 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, "Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from him? You are not your own, you were bought up at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies." If our bodies are biblically described as a temple, then we should treat them with the utmost respect. And what better way to treat your body than to live a life that is happier and healthier and which to better serve God. One should strive to achieve the best nutrition they possibly can in order to serve the Lord. This is especially important for Christians because our bodies house the Holy Spirit. Through this, one can lower certain diseases and cancers that are caused by meat products and fats from meats. As will be demonstrated, vegetarianism provides the most effective diet lifestyle for a healthier temple and is therefore a virtuous life choice. Vegetarianism can be defined as a diet free of animal flesh, specifically meat and organs. Vegetarian has a known etymology dated back to 1839, simply understood as a diet of vegetables. The term today usually means one who does not eat meat, but there are many variations on vegetarianism. An ovo-lacto-vegetarian is a vegetarian who does not eat meat, but does eat eggs and dairy. This is called a common vegetarian. An ovo-vegetarian is one who only eats eggs. A pescatarian, not technically known as a vegetarian, their only meat intake is fish, but they do not eat any other meat. When I talk about vegetarianism, I'm referring to the ovo-lacto-vegetarian, or the common vegetarian. It is important for a vegetarian to be a vegetarian in the safe way, making sure to provide the ingredients that the body is lacking in removing meat. Becoming a vegetarian does not give you an automatic health boost. One must be wise in choosing to remove meat from their diet. One argument for the benefits of avoiding animal flesh is a highly significant reduction in biopathogenic exposure, or microbes that incur illness. The Food and Drug Administration explains that meat, poultry, and seafood are direct links to foodborne illnesses. There are foodborne illnesses, however, in vegetables that were poorly washed, but this can be easily avoided in the kitchen by thoroughly washing them. Disease-causing microbes are actually embedded within the meat, so it is very difficult to remove the meat in the kitchen setting. Coburg says mechanical disruption of the tissue during processing can distribute microorganisms from the meat surface throughout the product. Avoiding these foodborne illnesses is virtuous because it keeps the temple at its best health. Another argument for the benefits of vegetarianism is a reduction in obesity. Obesity is a problem today for over 40% of the American population. 1 in every 5 children before the age of 4 are obese. This staggering statistic should be a wake-up call to our nation. Obesity is associated with heart disease and weight-onset diabetes. Certain cancers are also linked to obesity and high-fat animal fat diets. Consider this example. Those who were overweight and went on a low-fat vegetarian diet lost 24 pounds in the first year and left off this weight 5 years later. It is much easier to reduce the unhealthy fats in meat by reducing or eliminating animal food intake, because those are the links to the unhealthy fats. The virtue to be found in maintaining a vegetarian lifestyle will help prevent obesity, and it'll also give you a life to treat your body with care, and it'll help you serve the Lord. What people eat greatly affects their health. Thomas Edison says the doctor of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but rather will cure and prevent disease with nutrition. Removing meat will not only help prevent these diseases, but may even possibly reverse them. In Japan, in 1958, the death rate from prostate cancer were 18 people. In America, where meat was consumed much more, were 14,000 deaths. Many people think that this is because the American population was so much greater than Japan's, but it was only about twice the size. As noted in Cancer Journal, there were suggestive relationships between increasing animal consumption and increased rate of prostate cancer. Japan's current rate of prostate cancer, Japan's rate in 1958 of prostate cancer was 1 in 4.8 million. Today, it is 1 in 3,000. There was a 1,600% increase in meat consumption by the mid-1980s, and it has remained at about the same level, along with the same growth rate in the fast food industry, which is also inundated with saturated fats, showing a direct correlation to increased prostate cancer risk and increased meat consumption. In the US in 1958, the rate of prostate cancer was 1 in 3,000. Today, it is 1 in 6. In the late 1950s, fast food consumption of red meats began to multiply rapidly due to the expansion of the fast food industry. This shows a direct correlation to increased carcinogenic fats found in meats and to prostate cancer. People are all the time coming up with reasons for why they think vegetarianism is incorrect. Some of these reasons include that they love meat, so they want vegetarians to not be influential to them, so they can carry on eating their bacon and their steak. 2, they see organizations like PETA, and they think that all vegetarians are going to condemn them for how they eat. Or 3, they are already living happy and healthy lives while still eating meat, so they don't think that they need to make a change. However, vegetarians have some information to refute these arguments. One thing that many people have said against vegetarianism is that it is not healthier and that it is actually worse for your body than a diet that includes meat. They say that the protein from meat cannot be properly replaced. They also say that there are amino acids in meat that cannot be accessed in any other way besides eating meat. However, what many people don't know is that protein can be found in many other ways besides just meat. Whole grains are a very resourceful way to get the necessary proteins that you would be lacking from having meat. Quinoa is the queen of whole grains and also has the essential amino acids and proteins, and you don't have to eat any meat. Other grains that are beneficial as well are whole grain bread, barley, and brown rice. Other major sources of proteins for vegetarians are legumes and other beans, lentils, tofu, and other soy products, nuts, seeds, veggie burgers, and other meat supplements, tempeh, and protein shakes and bars. Not only are these good sources of protein, but they're also very good sources of iron as well. So although meat may be the most common source of protein, it is certainly not the only option. Many people may ask why I stop at vegetarianism and do not mention veganism. First, the difference between veganism and vegetarianism is simple. Vegetarians do not eat any meat, where vegans do not eat any animal product at all, including dairy and eggs. The problem with veganism, as opposed to vegetarianism, is that vegans are more likely to result in deficiencies of micronutrients such as vitamins B12, D, calcium, long-chain omega-3 fatty acids, and iron and zinc. They also do not get the extra protein opportunities from eggs and dairy. Many people are unaware of just how beneficial to their health a vegetarian diet can be, and how virtuous and pleasing to God it is. The way you treat your body is unbelievably important, for everything you do reflects God. The way you treat it is also important because it will affect you for the rest of your entire life. Making good or bad food decisions can permanently alter the person you become in the future. Will you be healthy and strong, serving God long into the elder years? Or will you be overweight, lacking the strength to carry around the weight of your own body? Time may be running short, for we do not know what tomorrow brings. So the decision time is now more urgent than ever. There are things in life beyond our control, but the way you take care of and treat your body is ultimately in your hands, and it is now up to you to come to your own conclusion regarding a healthier life. I have made my decision. Have you? Thank you.